Good morning, and I wish to share with you some notes from my upcoming sermon at the St. Basil Orthodox Church in Hampton, Virginia. The sermon is coming from the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector, Luke chapter 18, verses 10 through 14. And I'll be speaking from the topic, prayer without humility is wasted. Prayer without humility is wasted. Consider the Pharisee, if you would. The Pharisee is someone who is very knowledgeable about the scriptures, about the faith. He acts righteously. He's not like the extortioners and the adulterers and the tax collector. Instead, he is a man who does righteous things. He fasts, he gives tithes, or he gives alms. But yet he lacks one thing in his prayer. He lacks humility. So without humility, he can only pray to himself. On the other hand, we have the tax collector. This man comes into the rear of the temple. And instead of having his eyes lifted to heaven, he has his eyes down low, beating his breast. He does actions of humility in his prayer. Also, he does not declare himself to be any more righteous than anyone else. Instead, he openly admits that he is a sinner. He does not admit to any specific sin of adultery or extortion or anything else, but just the fact that he is among sinful people, that he is a sinful person, because he falls into temptations just like anyone else. But because of this humble admission of being a sinner, and because of his humble acts of beating his breast, not lifting his head, he prays not to himself, but he prays to God. And it's by this prayer to God that he is justified. Sinful as he is, no matter what he may have done, he humbles himself in prayer. Whereas the tax collector has no humility. Righteousness, he does have righteousness, but he lacks humility. And thus, he prays only to himself and cannot be justified, because we can't justify ourselves before God. Only God justifies us. And he gives his grace to those who are humble, not to those who are proud. He opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. So in your prayer life, remember, be humble. Do not elevate yourself in your words. In fact, humble yourself. Lord, I am a sinner. Don't elevate yourself. Go down on your knees. But by all means, be humble in prayer, so that God can justify you. Prayer without humility is a prayer to yourself. It is a prayer that God will not justify. It is a prayer that is wasted. Be blessed and have a great day.